Building a custom IT solution for a client, it's so much more than just picking some hardware off a shelf. It's really a professional journey, one that turns a business need into a powerful, totally tailored solution. Today, we're going to break down that exact process. And that's the big question every IT architect faces, right? You've got this whole universe of technology, a client with very specific goals, and a long list of requirements. That starting point, it can feel pretty overwhelming. So where do you even begin? Well, let's map out the blueprint. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the architect's blueprint. That's the core philosophy. Then we'll walk through the three main steps of the process: choosing a model, designing the solution, and then validating that design. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at why this whole structured approach is so absolutely critical for business success. At the very heart of great architecture, there's a really simple philosophy. A solution is never just about the technology itself. Nope, it's about starting with the customer's goal, what are they actually trying to achieve, and then building the technical solution that gets them there. So what's the mission here? It's to create a complete solution that perfectly balances three key things: the customer's business ambitions, their technical needs, and, of course, their budget. If you can get this balance right, you've pretty much laid the foundation for success. All right, let's get into our first major decision point in this blueprint. Before you even think about selecting any hardware or software, you have to choose the right delivery model. This is the foundation that your entire design is going to be built on. You've basically got two main paths. On one hand, you've got on-premises. This gives a client total control over their data and systems, which is perfect for industries with strict regulations or for apps like, say, financial trading, where every single millisecond of latency counts. Then you've got the cloud, which offers just incredible flexibility, the ability to scale up or down on demand, and that pay-as-you-go model that can really lower your upfront costs. But what if you need both? That's often the case, right? Well, that's where the hybrid cloud comes in, and it offers this really powerful combination. You get that solid, robust control of on-prem for your most sensitive data, while also being able to tap into the massive scalability of the cloud whenever you need it. Let's make this real. Imagine an e-commerce company. They absolutely have to keep their customer data secure on-premises to meet compliance rules. But during the holiday season, their website traffic just explodes. A hybrid model lets them use cloud resources to handle that massive surge, paying only for the extra power they need, all without compromising their core security. It's the best of both worlds. Okay, so we've chosen our model. Now we can move on to step 2, actually designing the solution. This is where we go from that big picture view down to the nitty-gritty, selecting the exact right ingredients for our architecture. Every single design decision you make should be guided by these 4 principles. Does it deliver the performance we need? Is it cost efficient? Can it scale for future growth? And does it play nicely and integrate with other services? And honestly, this is where the real art of architecture comes in, because you're constantly making trade-offs. You might sacrifice a little on cost for a huge leap in performance, or you might prioritize scalability over everything else for a big upcoming product launch. It's all a balancing act. This table here basically gives you a direct map from a specific need to a solution. So for a customer who needs a secure private cloud, it'd be looking right at HPE Synergy. If they're doing some heavy-duty AI or high-performance computing, HP Apollo is the answer. This kind of structured logic helps architects quickly pinpoint the best fit technology for the job. Now let's dial in the focus even more and look at specific industries. For a financial services firm, you might combine HPE Synergy with Nimble Storage for that super high-speed, compliant data they need. Or in manufacturing, where real-time data from the factory floor is king, HPE Edgeline is the perfect fit to process all that IoT data instantly. Let's bring this all back to our e-commerce example. Okay, so based on their needs, the design would probably include HPE ProLiant servers for that secure on-premises control, HPE Nimble Storage for lightning-fast data retrieval to keep the website super snappy, and HPE GreenLake to provide those on-demand cloud resources for the crazy holiday traffic spikes. See how all the pieces just fit together? So we've got our model, we've got our design, but hold on, we are not done yet. Step 3 is validation, and this is the crucial reality check where a design that looks great on paper has to prove it can actually deliver in the real world. Now, validation really happens on 3 different levels. First, you've got technical testing, things like a proof of concept or load testing just to make sure the system can handle the stress. Second, you validate the business outcome. If the goal was to cut costs, you need to show the design will actually do that.
And finally, you confirm that all the security and compliance requirements are totally met.
For our e-commerce client, this means running a proof of concept that simulates the intense traffic of their busiest shopping day of the year. Can the hybrid solution scale up without a hitch? Does the website stay fast and responsive? Is all that customer data kept secure at all times? Validation answers these questions before the solution ever goes live. We've gone through the blueprint, the design, and the validation. But let's zoom out for a second and ask the most important question of all. Why does this meticulous process even matter? Because this isn't just about building good tech. It's about driving real, tangible business impact. Look, the payoff for doing all this work, it's huge. A well-architected solution minimizes risk, and it ensures the business can scale without being held back by its technology. It improves efficiency. And so critically, it aligns every single dollar spent on tech with the company's big strategic goals. It transforms IT from just a cost center into a true business driver. By following this structured journey from that initial blueprint all the way to validation, you move from simply providing technology to architecting real business value. The framework is clear, the tools are ready. So the only question left is, what will you build next?